Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Guyana, join me on the Glenn Lal Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Glenn Lal Show only on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio 99.1 FM.
Good evening. Welcome to this evening's newscast on Kaieteur Radio for Monday, November 1st, 2021. I'm Kevin Smith. Without further ado, let's get to the news in detail. The three Chinese-owned companies bidding for the 165-megawatt Amila Falls hydropower project were once blacklisted by the World Bank over fraudulent procurement practices. The companies are China Railway Group Limited, Sino Hydro Corporation Limited, and China Gezuba Group Company, along with Brazilian-owned Realma S.A. They had submitted requests for proposals in early October to the Ministry of Natural Resources at the opening of tenders for the resuscitation of the project, which is slated to begin sometime next year. Checks conducted by Kaieteur found that China Railway, which the PPPC government had intended years ago to develop this project, was debarred in 2019 by the World Bank for practices considered fraudulent in the country of Georgia. In other news, Regional Chairman David Armagon disclosed yesterday that the New Amsterdam Hospital has commenced an investigation into the deaths of a mother and her baby just hours apart. Dead is 24-year-old Devi Samaru of Bloomfield Village, currently in Berbice, and her newborn baby girl. The baby died on Saturday, while Samaru died Sunday morning, relatives said. While the pregnant woman stated her mother had left and returned around noon and told her that her granddaughter had died. She was also told that she could not see the newborn until Monday after the postmortem was done. When the grieving woman returned to the hospital yesterday around 6 a.m., she was informed that Samaru had passed away. Husband of the dead woman, 28-year-old Sunil Pratap, said that the nurses gave her 2 injections and saline. They were told by a doctor that Samaru died from hemorrhaging, but the family is demanding justice for their deaths. And now let's tell you, despite the alarming number of COVID-19 deaths and cases being recorded, the government has made an adjustment to its measures by extending the national curfew hours from 22 hours 30 to now midnight to 4 a.m. This updated measure, which was published in the official Gazette last Friday, will be in effect from today up until November 30th. The government also extended businesses' opening hours to 23 hours. Some of these businesses are that of bars, indoor and outdoor dining. While the curfew is being extended, the Ministry of Health yesterday reported that 7 more persons who contracted COVID-19 have died. And moving on, Guyana's agriculture and health sectors are regarded as being extremely vulnerable to climate change due to the natural connections and dependencies that exist between climatic conditions and other aspects of life. This is according to the recently released 2020 World Health Organization report on climate change. According to the report, the phenomenon is also likely to have an impact firstly on plant development, animal health and water availability, which in turn will have a domino effect on agriculture and the nation's food security. Food security will then most definitely exacerbate the triple burden of malnutrition and the metabolic lifestyle risk factors for diet-related non-communicable diseases or NDCs. Lifestyle-related illnesses like diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease, which are said to be among the leading causes of deaths in Guyana, falls in the category of NDCs. That should be NCDs. In other news, it is believed that jealousy might have led a man being stabbed to death yesterday after reportedly having a chat with 2 Venezuelan women. Up to press time, the man has been identified only as Bush. He was stabbed sometime close to 1 hour along the road located at Ruby on the east bank of Essequibo. Bush had left his home earlier that night with a relative to have a few drinks. On their way home, the man stopped at a shed beside the road and began chatting with 2 Venezuelan women. Shortly after, a man also believed to be a Venezuelan national observed what was taking place and confronted Bush. It was related that the men subsequently got into an argument and Bush was stabbed to his chest during that time. Police are currently hunting for the suspect. And with that, as usual, we've come to the end of this evening's newscast. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening. Coming up at 19 hours 20 is the Glenn Lal Show, and immediately after your nightly newscast will be the National Outlook with G.H.K. Lal, followed by a short presentation from the publisher of the Kaieteur News, Mr. Glenn Lal.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
Fellow Guyanese, after the